on the news at 7. Ondo State Government reviews industrial policy for enhanced economic development. INEC meets minds with security agencies for smooth general elections in Ondo State. Police confirms explosion in Kogi as government allays fears of residents. And from the foreign scene, Russia suspends nuclear treaty with US over America's support for Ukraine.
Good evening and a welcome to you. This is the news at 7 on Osrc television. I'm Obi Chukwemeka Ote. We begin from the home front. Ondo State Government has begun review of the state industrial policy that will create friendly environment for investors. Concerned persons from different sectors were engaged in a one-day discussion to contribute to the policy, which will be used as a guide to drive the economy of the state in the next 10 years after implementation. Omar Alagbeji reports that Commissioner for Commerce, Industry and Cooperative Services, Akinwumi Sowore, was of the belief that the policy, if implemented, would serve as security to would-be investors in the state.
For any nation to thrive industrially, it requires industrial policy, which is a major tool to promote and retain investment. The first and only policy published in Ondo State was in 2005, hence the need for a review in the face of emerging realities that have made the policy obsolete. Addressing stakeholders to the engagement for the review of Ondo State industrial policy, Commissioner of the Ministry, Mr. Akinwumi Sowore, said it will project far into the future and tackle any challenges that may be occasioned by unfolding circumstances.
I wish to encourage all participants under this stakeholders agreement to ensure maximum cooperation. I cannot but intimate you with the fact that Mr. Governor, COS is much passionate about the transformation of all sectors of the state.
Briefing participants on the policy, Chairman, Technical Planning Committee, Dr. Adeola Alunge confirmed that Ondo State has abundant natural resources that must be tapped into to make the state the foremost sustainable industrial hub in Nigeria.
Another principle is dynamic policy making and rights to regulate. We also have sustainable development and policy coherence, then industrial protection. Very key. Industrial protection is very, very, very key. That alone is the responsibility of government to do for it. And so this policy is going to look into those areas. The next slide.
Facilitator, Policy Formulation Implementation Framework, Dr. Patrick Tolani said Ondo State is among the few states in Nigeria that have performance project monitoring unit, and that bringing various stakeholders together to review the policy is the key towards developing the state's economy.
Because that input from the people who are doing the business, the input is critical. And that's what is happening here now. That's why they are having that discussion. So if a manufacturer is here and you are talking about, okay, how do I gain access to capital? How do I gain access to land easily? How do I avoid multiple taxation? How do I get the right level of people to work with? Those are the things that must concern them. And that's why it's important you are hearing from them.
Argon Chairman in Ondo State and Chairman Akoko Southwest Local Government, Augustine Oloruntobi, hailed the involvement of local government in the review.
When you involve the local government, you involve the market women. When you start an industry somewhere, the locals are the one that work there, they are the one that will protect it. So that is the importance of local government presence into this program. And with what we have had and the election that have been delivered and what we are taking away from there, we believe that this program will surely develop the state.
The policy, which is expected to drive industrial development of the state for the next 10 years, will be presented to the State Executive Council for ratification. Omoniola Humbiji, Osrc News.
To electoral matter, over 7,000 security personnel have been deployed in Ondo State for Saturday's presidential election. This is just as the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says no fewer than 17,562 ad hoc staff will superintend over the election in 3,933 polling units in the state. Zaid Aribisala reports that Ondo State Commissioner of Police Oyeyemi Oyediro and Ondo State INEC boss Oyekola Oyelami gave the figures at a stakeholders meeting with all heads of security and paramilitary agencies in the state.
Residents of Ondo State, like other Nigerians in different parts of the country, are forward-looking to the 2023 general elections. With the presidential election set to blaze the trail on Saturday, operatives involved in ensuring smooth conduct of the election are gathered here at the police officers' mess for a high-powered meeting. Heads of all security and paramilitary agencies in the state, alongside the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), are perfecting the synergy for a successful process. Ondo State Commissioner of Police Oyeyemi Oyediro said over 7,000 security officers will be deployed across the 18 local government areas of the state. He enjoined residents to conduct themselves within the ambit of law, with an assurance that security personnel will maintain professionalism.
I want you to inform the public that they should rest assured that forthcoming election is going to be peaceful by the grace of God, and that we are all ready for that purpose. I want to equally drum it to them that thuggery will not be allowed. All other vices associated with it equally not be allowed.
Acting Resident Electoral Commissioner Oyekola Oyelami noted that 17,562 ad hoc staff have been trained and ready for deployment across 3,933 polling units. He assured that fuel scarcity and naira crunch will be no hindrance to the smooth conduct of the election.
For the total number of polling units in Ondo State, we have 3,933 polling units. 3,933 polling units as far as Ondo State is concerned. For the collected PVCs, is over 1.7 million. And for the uncollected, it's over 303,000 for the uncollected PVC.
According to Ondo State Comptroller of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Bosedi Oluwafunmilayo, 3 permanent voter cards and 1 national identity card were recovered from aliens in the state ahead of Saturday's general elections.
Lots of voters. We had an interaction with the non-indigenous about 2 weeks ago, and the result has produced like 3 voters cards. We were able to recover 3 voters cards and 1 national ID card from them.
To prepare security officers for the election, a revised standard and operational guidelines will be handed to them. Aside adorning their uniforms on election day, security agencies in Ondo State who will be on election duties will have an identification tag on them, and this is what you find behind me here as police officers from different divisions here in Ondo State have converged on Akure to receive the identification tags which they will use for election duties. From the police officers' mess in Akure, Zaid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, a total of 146,913 domestic and international observers will be deployed for the 2023 general elections. This was made known by the Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, at the INEC briefing for observers of the 2023 general election in Abuja. According to the INEC Chairman, the number of observers is the largest in the history of the country. The Commission accredited 196 national and domestic organizations that deployed 144,800 observers and 33 international organizations that deployed 2,113 observers. Similarly, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC says it will deploy 102,000 officers as part of its commitment to ensuring a hitch-free election. The spokesperson for the Corps, Olushola Odumosu, who disclosed this to newsmen in Abuja, said the safety of voters during and after election is a priority, adding that the election will be violent-free. Concerning the plan to deal with perpetrators of vote buying, the NSCDC spokesperson said as the political class are trying to orchestrate vote buying, security agencies are also mapping out strategies to checkmate them. Odumosu added that operators of the Corps that participated in the 2022 Osun and Ekiti elections have been paid their outstanding allowances. In another development, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has described the presidential flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the best candidate for the job. The governor, at the unveiling of the third edition of the book entitled Bola Tinubu, Treading the Path of Our Founding Fathers in Akure, said the book is useful for expansive leadership. Government House correspondent Timile Infalade was there.
The 220-page book has 19 chapters which centered on Asiwaju Bola Tinubu alongside the founding fathers of the nation, Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, as well as Ahmadu Bello. It tracked the depth of knowledge on governance issues, tenacity of purpose, and how inspiring they have been to people in politics. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, represented by his deputy Lucky Ayedatiwa, said Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is a courageous leader whom the All Progressives Congress APC is blessed to have as its presidential flag bearer in the February 25 election.
Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is truly a nationalist, a democrat, and a courageous leader with a depth of knowledge on governance issues. You can see that from the book. And today, our party APC is truly blessed to have this icon of Nigerian politics flying our flag.
The governor proceeded to unveil the book
for public consumption. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
The author of the book, a legal practitioner, Omofumilawa Adejumbo, said the book incorporated Tinubu's political, economic, and philanthropic attainments as governor of Lagos and after his exit as a state salesman. He further said the book is a review of his earlier ones published in 2003 and in 2011.
This is the time to review this book, to bring in, to incorporate some of the landmark achievements of Bola Ahmed Tinubu after his exit as governor of Lagos State. You all agree with me that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has achieved more after his exit than when he was the governor of Lagos State.
The Chief of Staff to Governor Akeredolu, Chief Olugbengali, and the former Chief Judge of Ondo State, Olasende Kumuyi, did the book review and book presentation.
The author highlighted some special qualities and political achievements of Bola Tinubu that distinguished him from others. Many of these are still enduring till today.
Books like these are kept because of their importance. And for those of us who really want to keep abreast of history, this book has gone beyond Tinubu alone.
The event witnessed launching of the book by other dignitaries who graced the occasion. Timile Infalade, Osrc News.
In a related development, APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu today took the last lap of his presidential campaign to Lagos State, where he received a rousing welcome at a packed stadium. Thousands gathered inside the Teslim Balogun Sports Complex in the city centre, providing a raucous climax to Tinubu's nationwide road tour 4 days before Election Day. 70-year-old Tinubu, a former Lagos State governor and candidate of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, is one of the front-runners in an unprecedented tight race to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari. more than 93 million Nigerians are registered to vote in Saturday's election. And the House of Representatives candidate for the Wudil Garko Federal Constituency in Kano State under the platform of the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP), Kamilu Isa, he's dead. Isa, who was a former Assistant Comptroller General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, died after a brief illness. He died just 4 days to the presidential, senatorial, and House of Representatives elections. In a condolence visit to Isa's family, the presidential candidate of the NNPP, Rabiu Kwakwanse, described his demise as a huge vacuum that could not be replaced. You're watching the news at 7, coming to you live from Osrc Television. Let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Glad to have you join us again. You can also watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on our Facebook page OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Now to the rest of the news. The presiding pastor of House on the Rock, Abuja, Pastor Uche Aigbe, has tendered an unreserved apology to his congregation and the entire Nigerians for mounting the pulpit with an unloaded AK-47 rifle. A remorseful Aigbe, in a video posted on the church's social media page, showed the pastor in last Sunday's service saying he was disappointed in himself for not considering the consequences of bringing the firearm to illustrate a passage in the scripture before taking the decision. Newsmen had reported how the preacher caused a stir when he mounted the pulpit with the rifle to address the congregation on guarding the faith. The viral video clip of him brandishing an AK-47 on the altar generated mixed reactions from Nigerians, with some people calling for his arrest by security agencies. Staying with security matters, the Kogi State Police Command has confirmed an explosion that rocked the administrative office of Okehi local government area of the state. The State Police Public Relations Officer William Aya told newsmen that the explosion occurred last night. Also confirming the explosion, the State Security Advisor, Commander Jerry Omadara, said the incident had been traced to saboteurs who wanted to cause panic during the election to prevent people from coming out to vote. It was gathered that a known gunman had stormed the Secretariat around 5 p.m. yesterday and planted an explosive that ripped through the administrative block of the Secretariat. However, Aya said officers have been deployed to the area to ascertain the extent of damage. Elsewhere in Imo State, gunmen in the early hours of today burnt the country home of the Imo State Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Emeka Okoronkwo. The incident happened at Amaguihube community in the Kugbe local government area of the state. Also burnt is the country home of a former dean of law faculty of the Imo State University, Owerri, Nnamdi Obereri. The country home of a retired director of Department of State Services, Emeka Ngwu, was also burnt. Houses belonging to 2 other prominent sons in the area were equally burnt. Now to Abuja, where Federal High Court has dismissed a suit seeking the removal of Usman Baba as Inspector General of Police. The suit was instituted by Michael Odoko against President Muhammadu Buhari and 4 others. Delivering his judgment, Justice James Omotosho dismissed the suit on the grounds that the plaintiff lacks the legal right to institute it. He invoked Police Act 2020, which puts the tenure of office of any IGP at 4 years. The judge maintained that the IGP occupies a sacrosanct 4-year tenure office, which has nothing to do with